we're going to learn how to expand and simplify double brackets. This checklist shows all the different types of examples that we're going to cover in this video. Let's make a start. So the way my slides work, I'm going to do the example on the left, which is I do, then you're going to press pause and have a go at the example on the right. So in this case, we are looking at an addition example. So the way you expand double brackets is you're going to expand everything in the left-hand bracket by everything in the right-hand bracket. So you're going to multiply x by x there, so that's x squared, and then x by 2, that's plus 2x. Now that's done, we're left with 1. We're going to do 1 times x, which is 1x, and finally 1 times 2. And now we've multiplied everything out. We also need to simplify this, so this then becomes x squared plus 3x plus 2. Now press pause and have a go at the example on the right. So hopefully when I go at this one, so this then becomes x squared plus 1x plus 3x plus 3, which then becomes x squared plus 4x plus 3. So looking at a different variable now, we've got y in this one, but the exact same thing. We're going to multiply y by everything in the right-hand bracket, so that's going to be y squared plus 3y, and now we're going to multiply 4 by everything in the right-hand bracket, so that's 4y plus 12, and we can simplify that to y squared plus 7y plus 12. Now press pause and have a go at this example. So hopefully you got, now 1y is the same as y, so that then becomes y squared, or you can write 1y squared, it's the exact same thing, plus 2y plus 5y plus 10, and that simplifies to y squared plus 7y plus 10. So now we've also got an expression with a multiple, so this bit at the top shows you what's different with these examples. We now have 2x, and we'll multiply 2x by x, which is 2x squared, 2x by 2, so that's going to be 4x, plus 1 times x, which is 1x, and 1 times 2, which is 2. That simplifies to x squared plus 6x plus 2. Now press pause and have a go at the example on the right. So we're going to multiply this by that, so that is going to be 2x squared, 2x by 1, so that's 2x, 4 by x, that's 4x, and 4 by 1, which is 4, so that simplifies to x squared plus 6x plus 4. And now again, we've got a different little variable, so we've got y now, so that's going to be 5y times y, which is 5y squared, 5y times 3, which is 15y, got 1 times y, which is 1y, or you can just write that as y, plus 3, so that's going to simplify to y squared plus 16y plus 3. And on the right, press pause and have a go. So hopefully you got to go at this one, so that's y squared plus 24y plus 2y plus 8, which simplifies to y squared plus 26y plus 8. And now we've got two variables, so again, we've now got one before this x and one before this one. So we now have 2x times 3x. Now 2 times 3 is 6, and then we have x times x, that gives us x squared. And then we have 2x times 2, so that's going to be 2 times 2, which is 4, and we have x. Then we have 1 times 3x, and we have 1 times 2. Now we're going to collect the like terms, so these two are both like terms, so that's going to be 6x squared plus 7x plus 2. Again, press pause and have got the example on the right, so that gives you 6x squared plus 3x plus 8x and plus 4. So that becomes 6x squared, collect the like terms, that's 11x plus 4. And now we've just got a y variable, but the exact same principle, so that's going to be 5y times 3y, which is 15y squared, plus 5 times 4, which is 20y, plus 1 times 3y, which is 3y, plus 4. Again, if drawing the lines helps, I do recommend doing it. That's 5y squared plus 23y plus 4. Again, press pause and have a go at the example on the right. So that then becomes 6 times 3, which is 18. Y times y is y squared. 6 times 4 is 24 with a y there. 2 times 3 is 6 with a y there. And 2 times 4 is 8. So that then becomes 18y squared plus 30y plus 8. So that we have now reached our first checkpoint in this lesson. We've now covered addition examples. So that's that one, and that one. So before moving on to some practice questions, please do consider subscribing, as it really helps the channel grow. And if you're finding this video useful, so press pause and have a go at these practice questions. When you're ready, press play for the answers. Here are the answers. Mark your work. Now moving on, we are now looking at negatives too. So now we also have negative in there, but the answer is going to be positive. So what do I mean by that? So firstly, exact same principle, x times x squared, x times 2 is a plus 2x. Now this is a negative 1 times x. Because it's a negative 1, the answer is going to be here minus 1x. And then it's a negative 1 times a positive 2, so that's going to be a negative 2 here. And now that becomes x squared. So these two are like terms. We are doing 2x minus 1x, which just gives us a plus 1x, or you can just write plus x, and the minus 2 remains. So press pause and have a go at the example on the right. So exact same thing again, x squared. It's going to be plus 5x. And then here we have a negative 1, so it's going to be minus 1 times x, so that's minus 1x. And then we have minus 1 times positive 5, that's a minus 5. And again, in terms of the like terms, those two are like terms, so that's just going to be 5 minus 1x, which is going to be plus 4x minus 5. So now we've got this example, so it's written the other way around. So the negative is on the right-hand side, so we'll do the exact same thing. We now have x squared, and then x times minus 1, so that's going to be minus 1x. You want to be careful here. Plus, it's now a positive 3 times x, so that's plus 3x. And then we have 3 times minus 1, which is minus 3. Now, these two are like terms. I have put a number line at the bottom as well, if that helps you. So essentially, you are starting at minus 1, and you are adding 3, so that's going to be 1, 2, 3. So you end up here. So that's going to be x squared plus 2x minus 3. And again, press pause and have a go at the example on the right. So that's going to be x squared minus 2x, and it's a plus 4 times x, so that's plus 4x, and that's a 4 times minus 2, which is 8. So that's going to be x squared. And again, you can use the number line for this. So you're starting now at, just use a different color. You are now starting at minus 2. You are adding 4, so that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. So you're going to end up with plus 2, plus 2x, and then we have minus 8. So we've just got a different variable now. So we've got y, so that's going to be y times y, which is y squared. Y times a positive 4, so that's plus 4y. Minus 3y times y, so that's minus 3y. And then we have minus 3 times positive 4, so that's going to be minus 12. And these two then become y squared, so that's 4y minus 3y. Again, you can write that as 1y if you want. We'll leave it like that. Again, press pause and have a go at the example on the right. So that's going to be y squared minus 4y plus 5y minus 20. Again, you can use the number line here. So we're starting on minus 4 and we're adding 5. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's going to be y squared plus 1y minus 20, or you can just leave it as y. So here's another example. So we now have x times x, so that's going to be x squared. And we have x times minus 2, that's going to be minus 2x. And I should point out that this time the answer will have a negative in it, so that's why I've put that there. And then it's plus 1x, and we now have minus 2 at the end. So now we're starting on minus 2, so looking at these two like terms, and we're adding 1, so that then becomes x squared minus x minus 2. Now moving over to the right, press pause and have a go. So that's going to be x times x, which is x squared. Then it's going to be minus 4x, and then plus 1x, and then a minus 4. So again, you can use the number line to collect these like terms. So we're starting on minus 4, we're adding 1, so that ends up on minus 3, so that's x squared minus 3x minus 4. Now these can be a bit tricky, that's why I've included the number line, and we're going to do a bit more practice with it. So that's x squared, and then it's minus 3x, and then it's a plus 2x, and then it's a negative 6 because we're timesing a positive and a negative. So again, collecting the two like terms, we can start on minus 3. We are going to add 2, so move to the right twice. So that's x squared minus x minus 6, or you can write minus 1x if you prefer. Again, press pause and I've got the example on the right. So that's x squared minus 4x plus 3x minus 12. And again, you can use the number line and that will give you minus x minus 12. So now we have two negative signs. So again, we're going to carry on as usual. X times x gives me x squared. X times minus 2x gives me minus 2x. Minus 1 times x gives me minus 1x. And this is where you have to be careful. We are doing minus 1 times minus 2. When you times two negatives together, it becomes a positive. So that's going to be a positive 2. Now again, you can use the number line for this. If we start at negative 2, we are now taking away minus 1. So we're moving to the left. So this becomes x squared minus 3x plus 2. Again, press pause and I've got the example on the right. So that gives me x squared minus 4x minus 1x plus 4. Again, you can use the number line for this. So start at minus 4. Take away 1, so we're moving to the left. So that's x squared minus 5x plus 4. So here's another one because these are a bit tricky with the minus and the minus. So that's going to be x squared minus 3x minus 2x plus 6. And again, you can use the number line for this. So start at minus 3, move 2 to the left. That's x squared minus 5x plus 6. Now press pause and I've got the example on the right. Now again, remember 1x is the same as x. So I've just written this 1 here as a bit of a trick. So that's still going to be x times x, which is x squared. Or you can write 1x squared, it's the same thing. And then minus 4x minus 3x. And finally, it's a plus 12. So then again, you can use the number line on this. Starting at 4, we are moving 1, 2, 3 to the left. So that's x squared minus 7x plus 12. So now we have a multiple inside as well. So we can now start the exact same thing. That's 2x squared plus 4x minus x minus 2. That's 2x squared. And again, you can use the number line for this. So that's going to be plus 3x minus 2. Now press pause and I've got the example on the right. So that's 3x squared plus 9x minus 2x and minus 6. That's 3x squared plus 7x minus 6. Now with this one, exact same thing. So we have 2x squared minus 8x plus 1x minus 4. That's 2x squared minus 7x minus 4. Hopefully you've had a go at this one. So that's 3x squared minus 12x plus 3x minus 12. So that's going to become 3x squared minus 9x minus 12. So we are starting at minus 12 and we are adding 3. So that means you're moving to the right. That's going to be 1, 2, 3. And now we've got two negatives again with a multiple. So that's now going to be 5x times 2x. So 5 times 2 is 10. X times x is x squared. 5x times minus 3 is minus 15x. That's going to be minus 4x. And that is going to be plus 6. That's 10x squared minus 19x plus 6. That's going to be 6 times 2, which is 12x squared. 6x times minus 4x is minus 24x minus 6x plus 12. Now, I know the number 9 doesn't go this far, but you have gotten used to it now. So it's minus 24. So you can imagine minus 24 here. We are taking away 6, so we're going to hop 6 to the left. So that's going to be minus 12x minus 30x plus 12. And now we have got square brackets. So what you need to do with this is the squared means it's multiplied by itself. So you want to write this out as x plus 1, x plus 1. That's what the square basically means. And now you can expand and simplify. So that's going to become x squared plus 1x plus 1x plus 1, which is x squared plus 2x plus 1. Hopefully you've had a go at this one. So that's, again, you're going to write that out. Make sure you write it out like this and then expand it. So that's x squared plus 3x plus 3x plus 9. And that's x squared plus 6x plus 9. And again, exact same thing with this one. So we have x plus 1 and then 2x plus 1. And that's going to become 4x squared. And that's going to be 2x plus 2x plus 1, which is 4x squared plus 4x plus 1. And hopefully you've had a go at this one. So this one is slightly trickier because we've got the negative. So that's 3x minus 5, 3x minus 5. So we're going to do 3x times 3x, which is 9x squared. We're then going to do 3x times minus 5, which is minus 15x. We're then going to do minus 5 times 3x, which is minus 15x. And finally, minus 5 times minus 5 is plus 25. Now, collecting the like terms, we have minus 15. So we're going to start here, and we're going to hop to the left 15 times. So that's going to be 9x squared minus 30x plus 25. And now we've got mixed variables. So in this, we have got an x in one bracket and the y in the other bracket. So we're going to do the exact same thing. X times y is xy, plus x times 2 is 2x, plus 1 times y, which is y, plus 1 times 2, which is 2. So in this case, there are no like terms to collect. So we can leave the answer as it is. So hopefully you've had a go at this one. So that is going to be AB plus 3A plus 2B plus 6. Again, there's no like terms to collect, so we can leave our answer in that form. And this is the final question on here. So with this one, we have exact same thing again, 3yx, and then 3y times 2, which is 6y, and then a negative 5x, and then minus 10. Again, there's no like terms to collect, so we can leave the answer as it is. And hopefully you've had a go at this one. So that's going to be 12yx minus 8y minus 6x plus 4. Again, there's no like terms to collect, so we can leave our answer as it is. So here's some practice questions for you to have a go at. Press pause and have a go. When you're ready, press play for the answers. And here are the answers. Just mark your work. So thank you so much for watching this video. If you found this video useful, please don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. And as always, I'll catch you in the next one.